Hey guys, welcome back to Running with the Wolves here with Parker Stinson of Saucony Hudson Elite. Great to have you on here, Parker. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, so today we will talk to him about a little bit about being at Oregon, obviously the most probably storied track program in the world, and then a little bit about being with Saucony and Hudson Elite and some races in his career, and then obviously, as you guys know, what running is obviously meant to him. That's what my message and goal here is that I had dreamed up when I started it. So without further ado, thank you, Parker, for coming on, and I guess without that, we'll get started. And I guess the first question would be, what was it like running at the University of Oregon?
Yeah, it was awesome. When I was in high school, I remember I was just kind of working hard and hoping to just get a college scholarship somewhere someday. And I went to the Olympic trials up in Eugene, and then I ended up the next year as well running U.S. Junior Nationals up in Eugene. And, I'd never seen anywhere like that. I was coming from Texas, and, they had these giant football stadiums, and but, no tracks in there and everything. So, I got lucky enough at the end of my high school career. I started to run pretty well and got noticed by them. So to go from hoping to get a college scholarship to running for them was amazing. And kind of pinching yourself when I was a freshman. I never had Galen. Galen was involved in my recruiting visit, but I never really spent much time. He wasn't on the team when I was there, but Centro was on the team. Luke Pesquedra, AJ Acosta, other people, and then obviously later Edward and Jenkins and Cohegan and Dunbar. But it was fun for me because when I came in, they had just won all these things and they had this huge legacy. And when I came in, we were kind of going down into this down period where only one or two individuals like Centro and Pesquedra were running well. And I think the most fun for me being at the University of Oregon was my sophomore year. Trevor Dunbar, myself, and Mike Berry, a 400-meter runner, were the only people to make indoor nationals.
Yeah.
And I think only Mike Berry scored. And then to finish my career at Oregon, I was a part of an indoor national title, an outdoor national title, and an indoor national title in a row. So I won 3 in a row with the Ducks at the end. And it was so fun because, I could remember when there was only 3 guys at indoor nationals. So
exactly.
It was fun to feel like made a difference at the program. Even if there was only a few points, it was just fun to be there when they were starting to start doing really well again. So,
yeah. And now after University of Oregon, you've kind of made the switch to road running more so than track and field running. Could you enlighten me a little bit about your decision?
Yeah. It's just the road races are fun. They take care of you really well. It costs, unless you're really big, time, and it costs you money to go to track meets out of your travel budget. And I like to use that travel budget more for massage and medical treatment and things like that. And so that's one reason, the road races take care of you really well and they're excited to have you. But I don't know, it's just fun. You go to different places and different distances, and I just felt like even if I was going to continue to be really successful on the track in the 10K, at the end of the day, I felt like the roads and the marathon and this and that were where my future lied. Even if somehow I was making a team in the 10K, I was getting second or third at USA's or whatever. I think at the world stage, I just wasn't going to be able to kick, even if I was strong. Even if I got to that level, I wasn't going to be able to finish quite well. And so I just kind of I didn't want to be delusional and stuff, and I do love track. But I felt like, especially right now, it seems like there's an opportunity in the U.S. At the marathon distance that if you can show that you're someone that can mix it up and run, a good time and be tough for that whole distance, that you can make a name for yourself and everything. So that was kind of that decision. And but I do love track. It's a lot of fun.
Now, do you see yourself hopping on the track ever again to hop in a 10K during a training phase or anything?
Yeah, I don't know if I would. I would never. I don't know if I'd ever want to hop on the track just as a training thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I was to run on the track, it would be. I want to finish my career with some better PRs. Like I ran 13:31. I don't even, probably like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I know I've been in better shape, but it's just never really made sense for me to focus on the 5K lately.
Yeah.
But yeah, if my career is winding down and this and that, I there's no way I want to end my career with 13:31 from 2012 or something like that. But yeah, I think so. Yeah, I definitely get on the track again, and you never know. People like Steven Sambu and Nathan Ritzenheim have shown that coming back to the track can be something that's really, really positive after you've spent a lot of time on the roads and gotten strong. So
yeah, exactly. Now you're known, I guess, as another University of Oregon legend that everyone likes to follow, Steve Prefontaine. You're known as someone who loves to front run and push the pace from the get-go. What does that feel like for you?
I think Steve Prefontaine did a little better job finishing the job off when he front ran. But it feels good. You got to train for it. That's the thing that's kind of changing for me right now is I really like to try to do that at the University of Oregon and the beginning of my professional career. But if you don't train for it, it's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to pull off. And at Oregon, they kind of they beat that out of me because they just knew what was best for me. And you got to learn in NCAA's. I mean, if you're running a 14, all those races go so slow, compared to what people can run.
Yeah.
So it just comes down to can you time things right and can you put your passion and your emotions into that kick the right way. And so I hadn't been front running for a long time. But on the roads, it seems to be a little bit better strategy for me, and I do enjoy it. So now I'm trying to train for that because it's a lot harder you can't do it if you don't train for it.
Yeah.
So the training simply is, I try to get out pretty hard in workouts, but more than anything, I try to be engaged the whole workout mentally. Yeah. Even if I'm not running hard, I try not to just float through things.
Yeah.
So yeah. No, it's fun. I like it. I'll keep doing it for as long as I can. But I think my next few races, I won't be front running. The competition's too stiff. So
yeah. Now, I guess getting to that, I was actually just about to ask, what is your 2018 race calendar looking like right now?
Yeah, right now, I think the next big thing I'd really like to run. Kind of like my next passion project, I would say, would be NYC half. I haven't finalized things for that, and I'm not sure if that will end up being what I do, but I'd love to do that, and love to start building my relationship with Dave Monty and the New York Roadrunners. So that's that, and then I may do a half marathon before then, Gasparilla half. I might end up doing that. I'm not really sure. And then I don't know. There's a lot out there. I know I want to run another marathon, but I don't want to. I want to run fast in my next one, and I want to finish the job and everything. And so I'm not in any rush because I want to do something special the next time that I do it. I don't want to just run one to be like, oh yeah, I ran another one kind of thing. So
yeah, exactly.
Maybe in the fall or something like that.
Yeah.
Is what I'd be hoping for.
Yeah, like New York, Chicago, something like that, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I'm really motivated to run fast. I want to run fast. So I know New York is not really that fast, and Chicago's great. It hasn't been very fast. It seems like recently, but I know you can run fast there. So. but maybe even like a Berlin or
Yeah.
something, if it'd be possible for me to get into something like that. That would be great, because I went out. I think I went out in 64, like 40 at CIM, and I mean, I can't even. I'll just be a bum. I'll just be a bum with all these other people back there at 64-40 in Berlin, which would be nice. It'd be nice to just be sitting in there with a lot of guys with similar goals. So.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great for you to go to Berlin. I think we only had one American male in the field last year, Ryan Vail, and that was about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. What? And he ended up. What? Was he like 10th or something? Or
I
was
think
he
so,
9th?
like 10th or 11th.
Okay.
Now, I guess what was your motivation to join Saucony and Hudson Elite coming out of college? I'm sure you were pursued by others.
Yeah. I didn't. So Hudson Elite was a little bit later, and so I can get to that. But with Saucony, I don't know. I just I really I had a lot of time to think about what I wanted to do because, long story short, I only had indoor nationals for my 5th year. So I did really well my 4th year indoor nationals, and I had people kind of asking about what I was going to do and is he going to go pro or whatever. And then I did not do well outdoor nationals, and so my stock was not in a good place. Like it would be a really bad decision for me to have come out. So I had that whole time. I had to wait till next indoor nationals, just hope that I could get my stock back up to where it was. And so I had a lot of time to think about it, and I just really liked what Saucony was doing. They were they didn't sponsor like a ton of people, but the people they did sponsor, they seemed to be really passionate about. And then, obviously Ben True is just, tough as nails. A lot of people, I think, look up to him and and hope to run like him someday.
Yeah.
So I was really inspired by that, and I just wanted to be a part of that brand. And I felt like if I kept improving and I, could reach the level that I was hoping that I could reach and still hope that I can reach, that I can make a difference at a brand like Saucony. I could maybe stand out there and help actually build that brand. Where, Nike's a great brand, and they sponsor so many athletes and they do so much for the sport, but it just for me, Nike seems more into track as well a little bit, and Saucony seemed really into road racing. And just for me, I wanted to be in a partnership with a brand, and it seemed like that Saucony was excited to work with me as well. So
yeah. Now, I guess what's your go-to trainer with Saucony?
Go-to trainer, definitely the Triumph. I love all it's amazing. I love that shoe. Yep, that's my favorite one. And then I'm weird on the racing though. I've raced in the Fast Twitch before and I've liked those, but I've been getting really into. I race in the Kinvaras, if you can believe that. And I always joke because I don't think 218 was gonna do it, but I think if I had ended up running like 211 or something in the Kinvaras, I don't know for sure, but I think it could have been like a world record because I don't think the Kinvara is technically a racing shoe,
It's
but
not, no.
It works great for me. I do basically what I told myself is if I can do these great workouts in this shoe, then then I can race in it. So
yeah, exactly.
I like the heavier shoe for me and the extra padding. It feels great. The Fast Twitch is a great shoe, and I know like Jared Ward and Molly Huddle wear the Type A. And I'm open to trying those, but for right now, I've been really enjoying all the Kinvara levels 7, 8, and then excited for the new 9 to come out as well.
Now, what's your favorite year of the Kinvara?
I love the 7.
You do?
I'm obsessed with the 7. Yeah. I don't even know if they'll send them to me anymore. Honestly, like I think. So I love these like all white ones.
Yeah.
And I got a bunch from them, but I think they're like out, or they don't really. I don't think they really like sending you the old models of shoes, because our job is to sell new shoes.
Yeah.
So I've even gone on Eastbay because I love the 7 so much. But I'm moving on. I'm working out in the 8s now.
Yeah.
and I do like them. I do like them a lot.
Yeah, see,
But
I would never be able to find my Kenora 5s anywhere anymore.
yeah, I know they're East Bay is like the only place. I remember Luke Pesquedra at Oregon when all the like Victory Matumbos and all these great shoes were coming out. He would make our Andy Powell go online and buy him. They would buy like 10 of the Milers, like the old Nike Milers shoe was his favorite. So
funny.
he would wear those for everything. So
That's funny. Now, Gasparilla, that's early February, correct?
late February.
February,
So
kind of.
it'd be about 3 weeks before NYC half.
Yeah, let me know if you're there. That's actually my hometown, so I'll probably be there.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll let you know. I mean, everything going well. I hope to be there. It seemed like a great race last year. So it just this last half marathon went really well. I was pretty surprised, and so the next step is to kind of put the pressure on a little bit and do a half marathon with more prize money, more competition, and just kind of see where I'm at before I try to take a big swing at New York.
Yeah, I believe it's double American prize money, isn't it?
New York or
Gasparilla.
Oh, I don't know. I just remember last year it was like 8,000, 3,000, 2,000, something like that.
Yeah.
So, it's definitely one of the best paydays I've seen. That's not a U.S. championship type field.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now that we're talking about it, I'm sure everyone will show up. So
yeah,
that's my fault.
That's okay. That's a fast time for you, though.
What's that?
That'll help you out with a fast time, though.
Yeah, no, it seemed like a good spot, and I don't mind the heat. It can't be like how Houston was last year because it's just. I mean, even then I ran well. You just can't run fast because it's so hot. But I don't mind it. I would prefer it to be a little hot than to be like 30 degrees. I don't like it when it's too cold.
I'll tell you what, it is pancake flat along Bayshore Boulevard in Tampa. You'll enjoy it.
Oh man, I'm excited.
Yeah, but what does a typical training week look like for you in a 7-day cycle?
Yeah, I double a lot. I probably double. So let's see. Monday's probably like 9. Probably like 10 miles or something in the morning, and then 5 in the afternoon, and then I'll do some drills in the afternoon with some sprints on the track, just like 100 meters.
Yeah.
Coach Hudson makes sure, it's good. We do a lot of strength with Brad, but he makes sure that we're full and complete athletes, and I really appreciate that, and I think it's really helped with my biomechanics and helped keep me healthy because when you don't risk throwing anything in there too fast then, because I'm sprinting year round, I'm doing hills year round, all this kind of stuff. So anyways, then Tuesday will be a workout. Sometimes Tuesday's the harder workout, sometimes Friday's the harder workout. Just something pretty hard. And then another double. And then Wednesday is usually a single, and it's like anywhere between 12. The most I ever did was 15 one time in marathon training, and that's horrible. That's it's the worst day of the week because you've gone Sunday long run, Monday double, Tuesday workout and double, and then now you have to do a single of like 12 to 15. So that's bad. But then I go see Marcus Allen Hill. He's a really good massage therapist here in Boulder. He works on a lot of big time people, so I'm just trying to, whatever the best people do, I'm trying to stick with them. So,
Exactly.
But then Thursday's recovery day for sure. I usually actually end up having to run 9 and 5 again. But I just run it really easy. It's amazing when you're in good shape how you can get recovered running 9 to 5, but you really can if you do it the right way. And that day will either be hill sprints or the track sprints. So they kind of alternates. And then Friday's big hard workout usually, and then another double. And then today, so I run probably like in marathon training I was running 115. Right now I probably run like 95 to 100. But even with all that stuff, even when I was running 115 miles a week, I'd run 6 miles on Saturday. So today, I just ran 45 minutes. Called it 6. I don't even know if it was. Super slow.
Yeah.
I've been doing that since college. Always a really, really easy day. And then, yeah, man. And then tomorrow will be. I'll have a 20-miler tomorrow, and it'll have like some light kind of fartlek in there, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty typical week. The only thing that changed in marathon training was I didn't do Tuesday, Friday, Sunday long run.
Yeah.
I would do a Tuesday workout, and then Friday I would have such a long, hard workout that I wasn't doing long runs anymore, basically.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing that was different. It was interesting. It was hard.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So that's basically a typical week for me. And Brad's training is quite a bit different from Oregon, but a lot of things are pretty similar because he went to Oregon back in the day. And I guess they're not that similar. I guess what I would say is similar is I'm on the Tuesday, Friday, Sunday sequence a lot.
Yeah.
So I really like that, and I've been doing that for as long as I can remember now. So.
Yeah. So what do you do to keep you engaged for a whole 20-miler? Do you have someone next to you on a bike ever, or what?
Brad's at everything. He's amazing. He's at everything, helping out and driving by and doing this and that. And I've got great teammates, guys like Luis Orta. He's a Olympian for Venezuela. Trevor Dunbar, obviously.
Yeah.
And just like a few other people that, people wouldn't know too well, but they're going to be really good, and they are really great workout partners. So we've got this guy, new kid, he's 23, from Georgia. His name's Sid Vaughn.
I was just about to mention him.
Yeah, no, he's he just got a tiny little injury before Houston, and it just didn't make sense anymore. But he was in such good shape. So hopefully, he's running again and doing some workouts, but he's got to build back up now.
Yeah.
And then Ian Butler, he's looking to have a real good performance soon, but he's amazing up here at altitude. He's lived at altitude his whole life, and so he can do a lot of workouts with me. And honestly, in marathon training, he was kicking my butt for a lot of it and some of that longer stuff. But yeah, so we got that, and I guess to answer that question a tiny bit more was that's kind of why I like to stay engaged. I like to get out hard and kind of start hurting in those workouts because if I just feel too good in those workouts and I'm just kind of like hanging out, feeling easy, sometimes I find the workouts harder because you're not engaged. So, like, don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean I run every step like ridiculously hard, but I find if I get out hard, at least, I get engaged, I start hurting, feeling that pain, and then I kind of like relax in there and then kind of go from there, and that helps me, I think, stay engaged throughout that whole workout. So,
yeah. Now, how mentally tough is it for people training for their first marathon? How mentally tough is it to stay engaged for the whole marathon?
Like the race?
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. To be honest, I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, CIM was, it was like the most perfect weather I've ever seen. And, I was, I was having an amazing day for a long time. So it's really easy to stay positive and stay engaged when things are going as well as they were for me. Yeah, I mean, when I started having problems, I still felt pretty good mentally and energy. I was kind of like bringing. I was like excited to see kind of what everyone talks about. They're like, oh, like the marathon's so hard, the last 10K and stuff. And I got to mile 21 and 22, and I was like, kind of like, let's go, bring it on.
Yeah.
But so I thought it was all right, but I had some muscle issues come up because at the end of the day, I don't think I was running too fast, but my first 10K was too fast, and then some of my muscles couldn't handle it, and they just my calf and my groin just flared up really bad. And, I mean, I was gonna slow down anyways. I was hurting, but I felt focused. Yeah, I felt good. I felt I felt like I could finish it out. But anyways, it's just different, you know.
Yeah.
You're running so much slower than other races that I didn't feel like the mental engagement was too hard. I thought it was really fun, and I'm excited to try to stay engaged for the whole 26.2 next time instead of 22 miles or whatever it was that I got to.
No, what was it that you came through your first 10K? I don't remember seeing it, and it was ridiculously fast. But
yeah, it was it was too fast. I don't know. I think it was like 30-20 something.
That's what I thought. I knew it was close to 30 flat.
Yeah. It was. I don't know. It felt good, and I kept trying to slow down because I knew it was a little too fast. But it was just, I think, you know, Brad's training worked really well for me, and he got me feeling really good on the day, and it was such nice weather. I just felt too good. That was my problem.
Yeah.
But like I said, you know, it's just a little frustrating because I know how I was feeling at mile 20 and 21, and I still felt like I had some fight left in me. But you know, I guess I was running too fast, and it didn't show up in my energy and in my fitness. It showed up in a few of my muscles, and you know, that's part of the game. So it was just too fast.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if you could change anything about that race, would you have gone out slower, or would you do the same thing again?
That's a good question. Yeah, I would just the first 10K. I wouldn't change anything else, and it didn't even need to be that much. Just a little bit. The first 10K, and you know, another thing that was weird. I don't know how legit this is, but someone brought up to me because it was my right calf that got really flared up at 14, and then it was my right abdomen groin line. So maybe another thing I would change, I don't know, maybe I was running too much in the crown of the road or something. I don't really know. But either way, slowing down probably would have helped. So I would slow down 30 seconds the first 10K. How about that?
All right. Well, that's fair. That's not too much. It's a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I would have made it like a mile farther. But hey, a mile farther at that point, you know, you might you find a little bit more hope.
Exactly. So. Now, what is your favorite racing experience you've ever had since you've been running? High school, college, professional, anything?
Oh gosh, that's tough. It would have to be. There's a lot. But it'd have to be the first indoor nationals we won. It was probably it was the biggest, best race individually of my career. But not only that, it was just so amazing because we were going in trying to get fourth, and this is before we won anything in a long time.
Yeah. And
I had a great day. Edward had a great day. My good friend Trevor Dunbar got second in the DMR. And then so we won. But then to top it all off, that's the famous year that the women won in the 4x4 by half a point. So, you know, in track and field, it's such an individual sport. And so often, you know, I've had days where maybe I had an amazing race and I was so excited, but someone on my team or this or that didn't. It's so hard to have everyone just be elevated to such a level of happiness on one day. And, you know, for me to have a great race, for some of my friends to have great races, and then for both the men and women's team to win, there was just nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, who have you found the toughest person to race against that you've ever raced against?
Toughest person? Toughest person. Well, I mean, it's hard to. I mean, all those WCAP guys are really hard because I mean, I can't even like get to the point of keeping up with them quite yet. So that's really tough because, you know, you almost don't even feel like you're racing because by the time it comes to a race, your fitness isn't quite there yet with those guys. So that's hard. but I guess like a more relative one would be someone who was like at the time around the same level for a bit. Was I remember would be Eric Jenkins. We were training together and doing well, and he was faster and had done better things than I had. But I remember we were at the University of Kentucky and we opened up, and he ended up running 13:31.
Yeah.
So Trevor Dunbar paced us. He ran, and then Eric ran 13:31. I ran 13:38, and Will Kilhegan ran 13:43. And the reason why I found it was just such a humbling and tough, just interesting experience was I was sitting on him and I felt so good. And I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'm going to beat this guy, but it's going to be close.
Yeah.
And he was leading and had been leading for a while. And I was like, I feel so good. This is going to be great. I'm excited. And everything was going my way. And I just remember I went from thinking that, hey, maybe I'm going to beat this guy with 800 to go, because he was leading it out too. To he put, as you see in the results, 6-7 seconds on me in the last 600 meters.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I've had other people do that to me. Obviously, it's not but maybe I wasn't feeling good, or I had this or that excuse, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And to be sitting on a guy and sizing him up and thinking you have him, and him to just burn you like that, it was really impressive. So he was a fun guy to train with, and as everyone knows, obviously a huge talent.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I guess I asked you what made you choose Saucony, and you talked about Hudson Elite a little bit. What was the deciding factor for you joining Hudson Elite over another training group?
Yeah, so I was with Andy Powell shortly after college, and he helped me run 27:54 in the 10K, and I didn't sign with Nike, so they're obviously Andy coaching me was not going to be a permanent thing, and Andy loves coaching college athletes, so it was just he's just a good guy and wanted to help me out, and we're really good friends to this day. He was at my wedding and all this and that. But it just didn't really make sense for him to coach me for much longer. So I had a short stint with Team USA Minnesota when I was looking at something new, and I was excited about that, and liked Dennis Barker, who was the coach at the time. But I was doing well. Starting to learn his system, this and that, and for whatever reason, I don't know what happened. I don't think it was anything to do with Dennis. I don't think I had been running long enough with him. But that's when I had all these Achilles problems, and I ended up missing 7 months and got surgery.
Yeah.
And I was kind of just hanging out in Eugene. I had the Olympic standard because I'd broken 28 minutes, and I wasn't going to run. There was no way. So my point is, I needed a big life change. I didn't know if I was going to run again. I didn't know if I'd ever even get to the same level. And I've been running since I was 11 years old, pretty competitively. And so, I just never been in this bad a shape in my entire life. So I started talking with Brad, who I've actually known since high school, believe it or not. And we've always kind of kept in touch. And he got me out the door. It just, after the surgery, it just wasn't the same. It was hard to believe that it was better. They told me it was, but it didn't seem like it. And Brad and Dathan Ritzenheim actually got the same surgery, so he was helping me out a lot, just as someone to talk to about it. Brad got me out the door, and I was in Worship of My Life doing just 20-minute runs. And so everything I've done in the last 18 months, everything I've accomplished and this and that has all been a product of Brad's training. And that's a nice place to be, because so often when you're switching coaches, you never know if it's working or if it's just your fitness from your last coach. I have full trust in Brad's training, and he was just really helping me out at a time that, no one else really was. So I packed up and moved out to Boulder. And it's just been going. It's just been great ever since. There's a few races I would have liked to run better at, but for the most part, I think that's on me. Not really the fitness or anything that Brad's got me in. So
Now, I guess a lot of athletes, and I hope they don't experience it, but have to deal with injuries, and a lot don't. But what was it like after such a long layoff for injury? How did you manage to get yourself through that? I know it's very hard. It was hard for me taking some time off this summer. What was it like for you taking time off?
yeah, I mean, it was just so hard. It's just so hard to explain because I think, like, if you have a stress fracture or this and that, some stress fractures are, way worse than others, obviously. But
Yeah.
for the most part, they go, hey, you can't do anything for 6 weeks. Go enjoy yourself. Forget about running for a bit. And it kind of takes care of itself. My thing was so horrible because it was the sheath. So my tendon's always been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But I spent 4 months trying to run on and off. And people telling me to do this, people telling me to do that, and nothing was really working.
Yeah.
And so I had to stay engaged with the sport, and I had to just keep failing over and over again, and just watch my, not like, I've never even run a little big trials at Hayward Field, so just watch those dreams and like those goals slip away. And then, I got the surgery finally, and I don't know, it was just really hard. I mean, that kind of I needed to move to Boulder too because I was living in my college town where I was known for being, someone who had contributed to these great things recently in Oregon history, and I couldn't even run, and that's all that I had in Oregon really. So it's really hard because I love to run, and I was getting I do get paid to run, and I was getting paid to run. So you're losing your job and your passion at the same time, and unfortunately, your identity as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know, and I have so many people were helping me out, and obviously appreciated me so much more as a person than just a runner. But still at the end of the day, that's what I love to do, and so I guess how I got through it, I'm not really sure. I just kept trying to do the best I could, and I just kind of left it up to a higher power at the end of the day. I was just kind of like, well, I've had so many great experiences with running, and I've accomplished a lot of my goals, and man, I really wanted to do a lot more things in this sport, but I guess if this is it for me, then it is. That was kind of it, honestly. So I'm glad it wasn't, though, and coming back, it was hard, but I was just so grateful. I mean, even just the first time I could do a workout with somebody and get that feeling of them hurting me and being able to just like fight through it and stick with them.
Yeah.
That high was just incredible from the things that I had been doing before. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I guess getting to the end here, what has running meant to you as a person outside of all the competition, like I asked before, spiritually as a human being, and what it's done for you as a human being rather than just a competitor?
Yeah, I think we touched on it a little bit even just in that last part. A bit of an identity and stuff, and it's hard. Like, you got to be careful having it be your identity. But I guess running is a really spiritual thing for me. I love everything about it. I love to train. I love to race. But I think I guess that's kind of what I meant by the higher power, and if I was meant to keep doing this or not with the Achilles injury. I think what running meant to me is it's definitely right now. It might not always be, but it seems like my purpose and what I should be doing right now.
Yeah.
And it makes me really happy, and it makes me feel like I'm living a life worth living by, not because not like running fast. It's not that. It's kind of like an artistry as well. I really enjoy putting my heart and soul into all aspects of running, and I think that means a lot to me spiritually to know that I'm doing that. And so it's just been a purpose for me, and I I'm okay for when it's not my purpose anymore. I'm definitely ready to find something else if I need to. Mm-hmm. And I think, like we talked about, that injury kind of like got me to that point where I don't want to be someone that keeps running to just keep running, and maybe my best days are behind me, or I'm really injured or something. I definitely enjoy it because I feel like it's what I'm supposed to be doing right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it's just given me a purpose, and I enjoy every day working towards a goal and trying to be the best self I can be. And running's really fun because it has a way to measure that. And, other things in life you can't measure, I guess, if you're being the best version of yourself.
Yeah. So. Now, I guess one last question. Basing off of that, do you see yourself coaching in the future after your running days are over?
I don't know. I dabble in it right now. I've got so many people slide into the DMs and ask advice and ask questions and this and that, and it's a little overwhelming. It's hard to respond to everyone and give them the answers they deserve. I try to do my best, but I don't know. I like coaching in this net, but it's a lot of work, and it's really hard when you can't be there and really be involved with the person's stuff, because I think that's really important. I think if you looked at a lot of training, a lot of the coaches, it's not that different. I think what makes someone a great coach is their ability to inspire, be around athletes and inspire them to different levels, and just their ability to look at their athlete and be like, hey, they're just not right today. Let's. I know I wrote down this workout in my head, but I'm going to back them off. But you don't even let them know, because no athlete wants to know that. So there's just so many things. So I don't know. I like helping people, but there's a difference between doing someone a favor and it being your job, Yeah. So I'm not sure. All
right. Well, thank you once again for coming on, Parker. It's been an honor to have you on. It's been awesome to talk to you. It's definitely been really enlightening and really awesome to talk about your story. But is there anything you'd like to say to anyone before we're off here?
Oh, I don't know. I think I've said enough. I did this call in my car so that my wife didn't have to listen to me talk anymore. So, just thanks so much for having me on, Dustin. And thanks again. So,
all right. Well, again, thank you, and it's been awesome.
Appreciate it.